Well, hello and welcome to the Points of Interest podcast. This is the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Happy 12th birthday to the Points of Interest podcast Twitter. Or, no, there's no other word for that website, actually. I forgot. Yeah, no, Twitter. Twitter, it's 12 years of wonderful, entertaining podcasting from a once a network. If people are new, maybe they don't remember, it used to be a network, and now it is but a weekly podcast. Hello, Ginger, for everyone to enjoy. How does it feel to be a tween with your Twitter account?
Rad, I guess. It's cool. You know, I don't mind it. We're here for
puberty.
We're here for the long run of the Twitters. We're here. We'll never call it what it's become because we don't like change.
Soon,
except for today, we're doing this on a different day. We had to change things because my wonky work schedule. And I thought, hey, maybe I'll just work and we'll do a late night thing. There'll be more people around for a late night thing. Then I saw on the schedule, they want me there early the next day. So, not going to happen. Like a podcast on a normal day. So, we're coming on the holiday where probably nobody's watching and getting drunk somewhere or something.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a holiday today. But that means more people are in. Again, the hi, Push. How's it going?
Oh, yes.
Yes, it is. It's a Memorial Day episode of the show.
Yes. We're working on Memorial Day.
I guess, yeah. We're working on...
it's Labor Day. It's Labor Day you don't want to work on.
Well, you don't normally want to work on any holiday.
Well, that's true.
I mean, Labor Day just because we're celebrating labor, but any day. I mean, look, you don't want to work on Christmas. You want to take Christmas off.
People
want Thanksgiving off.
Thank Crom that I made a life decision and and went from a union job to a non-union job because the non-union job means I got holidays off.
Oh. Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right. Yeah. Hey. Non-union jobs. Still. It depends on where you work. Like at a movie theater, I worked holidays, and that's true. Push Labor Day isn't until September. But we're already preparing not to work on that day. So
yeah, I get confused as to which one's which. You know, one's at the beginning of summer, one's at the end of summer. Essentially, I always get confused as to which one's which. So anyway,
enjoy having your time off. Did you do anything on your day off?
Laundry. Is that a thing?
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I did laundry.
Yeah, not nothing really. Just kind of sat back and relaxed. You know what? The job is a physical one different than the last one where I just stood all day. I got the hiccups. Where I just stood all day and made boxes and shit like that. This one, little more physical that goes into it. The body's a little sore. So a day of rest is not a bad thing.
Just like Push is reminding us, hey, you don't have to worry about these holidays yet because they're a long ways away. I know, I appreciate that. I think our next big holiday is technically, I guess, July 4th is the next big holiday.
Yeah.
Some people get Juneteenth off. I do not.
I do.
If Josh gets Juneteenth, you do?
I do.
So I'll be working while
I might work on the guy that makes the schedules basically told us that we'll basically all get as best as possible, get all the holidays off. If we happen to have to work on that day, we'll get another day off some other day in the week.
You know what I miss? I miss the fact that they used to tell you, hey, if you work on a holiday, you get time and a half, or you get double time or something. They find ways around that now. They're like, nah, it's not really a holiday, right? It's not really a day that we recognize, so we're not gonna pay you for that day.
Being away from your family, and
that's really nice.
Being away from your bratwursts or family and turduckens and stuff like that. No, you shouldn't get paid extra for that. No, we'll just give you another day off.
Turducken.
You ever had one of those? I haven't. I've never even seen one.
I haven't. No, it looks like too much work. You have to fit a chicken and a duck into a turkey. It just sounds awful. It just sounds like too much work. So I'm not.
I'm
not down with that.
Each of those birds is
I'll
fine
let everyone else have that
on its own. I'm not a big duck eater, but the few times I've had it, it's pretty good.
Duck's okay. I'd rather not eat duck if I can avoid it. It's not my favorite food. Because it's weird. It's like like fishy chicken. Like it's weird. Like it's weird. It's just weird. It's just a strange food.
I'm not arguing. It's not quite the chicken
anyway,
of the lake.
What's up, man? So yeah, it's been a week.
It has been a week. There's lots of things I could tell you all about the things that I do now for a job, but we're protecting kayfabe. But I will tell you something. And it's just without putting a lot of details out there. Just what are the chances? What are the chances of approaching somebody that's walking their bicycle, and when you stop to have a conversation with said bicycle, the bicycle then falls, kind of on your foot, and you kind of go, ooh, that hurt a little bit, but you're having a conversation. And then the person you're having the conversation with decides that they're done having the conversation and they want to leave. So when they go to pick their bike up and try to scurry away from the conversation, you realize the shoelace is wrapped around the pedal. And now someone's trying to take your leg with them along with their bike. Very interesting moment I had.
Well, I was thinking about your situation, and I'm like, oh, here's your solution: Velcro.
Francis, this is why we're friends, because as soon as you said I have the solution, I was like, yep, he's going to say Velcro, and I'm going to agree that might be a good idea. Or, I don't know if you ever skated, but way back in the day, they had skate shoes that had a Velcro flap that would protect your laces.
Vans comes with slip-ons,
apparently that's the new American thing, to have slip-on shoes, because we're all too fat to lean over to tie our own shoes.
Up until recently, yeah, I was only rocking the slip-ons. I never wore lace shoes. Now I only wear lace shoes. But before I was like, why would I go through the effort? And then here's the issue. This is the thing you never think about when you're just going no laces, only slip-ons, is that the elastic that keeps it from falling off your foot weakens over time, and then it just slips off your foot.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, well, unless I get a fatter foot, I can't fix this, so I better get lace shoes next time so I don't have to worry about it. So lace shoes make more sense than slip-ons.
The team I work with, we obtained one random shoe this past week. Because it slipped off, that's for sure. And it was really funny.
If it had no laces.
To be honest with you, Francis, didn't see. I was too busy antagonizing the person that lost their shoe.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Good. Poke the bear with the shoe. Poke the shoeless bear.
Poke the shoeless bear. Yeah, yeah. Well, the shoeless bear was not a threat. Just when you walk past a door and there's just a yippy yappy dog behind the door that's jumping and barking, but if you like actually confronted the dog would run away from you. Yeah, but the dog couldn't run away because that's shitty. I just said, but the dog couldn't run away because they were missing a shoe. Yeah,
makes sense.
And I told the dog, if you just come in and have a little snack, and they just sign for it that you had a little snack, then you can have your shoe back. But you didn't want to be
kayfabe.
I know. It's fine. It's fine.
Man. That is some tough kayfabe.
Speaking of protecting kayfabe, there's something I saw right before we hit the old record button here, Francis, and I don't have any kind of a plan going into this, so let's see what happens. But in the little news feed, I saw that those famous conjoined twins, one of them got married.
Who are conjoined? What conjoined
twins?
Twins?
There's some like quote unquote famous conjoined twins out there.
There are? Oh, I want to know who these famous conjoined twins are.
They've had TV shows about them. Like, what is that? TLC made a bunch of shows. I don't know what their names are.
Okay, so conjoined twins. I'm gonna look it up.
Conjoined twins.
What happened?
Do like conjoined twins TLC show, and I bet you it'll pop right up.
Oh God. Oh, those two. You're right. Yes.
Okay. Well, one of the two of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the taller or the shorter one. That's fucked up. But one of them got married. Now,
yeah.
Here's my question, because they have their own lungs and stomachs and hearts and intestine, but they share.
Yeah, at the waist.
They share everything below the waist.
Yeah.
So like, going back to protect kayfabe, like does the one just try to ignore the fact that they're consummating their marriage, or do you have a weird threesome?
My understanding is that,
or is that just not an option? They just like, nope, sex is off the table.
Okay, oh, man, I feel awful. Okay,
it's just like, I said I didn't have a plan, dude. It was just something I saw, and now we're running with it.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, run with it. That's fine. But like, here's the thing. I've seen these two. They were very popular for decades. They have been like internet memes for a while. Abby and what's her face, Abney Brittany, I think are the names.
Maybe.
And they have been like super popular for years, and they have had intimate tapes of themselves leaked. They have had stuff like that. Like, so you've seen, so you've seen. There's like things of a nature of which I would not want to subject anyone to. I don't know. I would call it equivalent to Two Girls, One Cup, a thing I will never watch and hopefully never. And people have forgotten it, I think, except for I just reminded people that it exists. So don't look at that. Don't bother. Don't look at that old early 2000s video.
Don't. You want to have a good time. Look up.
Yeah.
No, listen. Look up Joe Rogan reacting to Two Girls, One Cup, and keeping in your mind when you're watching, and you don't see the video at all. You're just watching Joe's reaction to it. Keeping in mind that Joe, presents himself as a, an alpha male. He can't even watch 10 seconds of the video. He can't even look at the video halfway through. He's dry heaving. It's. I find it hilarious, but I'm also sick. I'm kind of sick and twisted.
All right. So I just found out that according to this article from news.com/.au,
Australian?
It's Australian. This is the article I found. One of the first articles I found. Brittany has control of the left arm and leg, while Abby has control of the right side, which means that in order for them to have sex, they both have to be participating. Otherwise, it's just half a body flailing. So they have to both be doing. They have to both be doing something for them to consummate the wedding. So yes, they both have to participate.
But you're only marrying
the,
one.
It's weird.
But you're, yeah, it's weird.
You can't help it. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. You know, it's just, it's just an interesting situation. Just like I said, I was scrolling, I saw that, and that's the first thing that popped into my head because, again, I'm sick and twisted.
I mean, good for them.
Yeah,
you know, good for them.
Yeah, totally. They're no doubt. Fucking have your happiest of life that you can live. You know, it's just that's weird. That's a long conversation.
I mean, good on the guy. I guess good on the guy too.
Good on everybody.
I don't know if I could. Yeah, he's a regular good-looking dude, and so more power to him. The girls won out, I think, in this particular situation.
Well, what if you're having an argument? Say you marry the one on the right,
right?
And you're having an argument, and the you get slapped, but it comes from the left side. Like, you know, then
you can't. It'll never happen unless unless the sister wants to stay.
Right. Then you're like, why are you getting involved?
Well, here's the thing. You get like, you know, there's the dream is to be with twins, right? I mean, there you go. Like they're built in, less work because it's only, you know, two heads are better than one. You know, good for them. So anyway, well, thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem. That's the type of entertainment that we bring here. This is the kind of content. This is the level of depth you're going to get here.
No, I look again.
Look, if you want scary stories read to you over a course of 10 episodes, then go find that podcast. But we don't do that here.
That's why Shady Treacle joined the last week, was because of content like this.
Exactly.
Like, oh yes, I need more of this.
We're slowly approaching con season. I mean, con season is happening. It's been happening basically since the beginning of the year. But,
wow, okay.
Yes, I mean, really,
true.
As soon as it got warm, even a slight bit warm, any convention that was small enough to get into a spot before something big rolled in, they did it. But I haven't been to anything. Things have not been. I've not been available when they've been happening, or I just honestly wasn't interested in going. Anime shows are cool, but I feel creepy going to an anime show. Even though I'm not doing anything creepy, I feel creepy at an anime show because the average age is like 10.
No, it isn't. Okay, now you're exaggerating.
It feels that way. Okay. And
I guess, sure.
I just don't want to be that kind of. I don't know what the right word is, but it's just like unsupervised. A whole hotel of unsupervised ADD people. It's just not. It's a formula of annoyance, and okay. I don't watch anime. The shows are fun to go to because the voice actors are so accessible, and they're so willing to talk. But I just can't deal with the audience of the anime show.
I mean, so why did you bring it up though? Why?
Because I'm just saying we just haven't. I haven't been to any shows. Those are the ones that have been happening so far. Are the anime shows?
Oh,
I've just not gone to any of them because I'm just like, no.
Sure. Well, I mean, look, you've had a pretty roller coaster ride of work the last few months. I mean, you've had a lot going on. You've been busy.
I
You
have
know,
been.
you've been going out, you've been losing your car, you've been doing all this stuff. Like you've been busy,
Yeah.
so I
So
get why you're like your first thought is let's go to a convention. Your first thought is probably let's find my car.
yeah,
And
well, I mean, yeah, I've been to more
then go to
concerts than I have conventions in the last. What
Yeah.
month is it? 5 months. In the last 5 months, I've been to more concerts than I have conventions. But speaking of concerts,
No.
I did go to a show with with the old lady. That was fucking stupid. I've never said that in my entire life. But wasn't really gonna say that. Like, it doesn't matter. The girlfriend and I.
We've returned to the days. Yeah, we returned to those days.
Oh God, don't ever let me fucking return to that day ever. I've never been there anyway. The old lady. I want to slap dudes when I hear them
It's
say
the
that.
old lady.
But the old girlfriend, I was gonna say, but anyway, the girlfriend and I went to the Red Rocks to go see a concert, have a night of EDM dancing, and a great night. When we arrived, we realized how busy it was. Overly busy for a show that hadn't even started yet. Come to find out later, the show was a bit oversold, which made sense. Where we park, we're a lot closer to the actual amphitheater. It's a hike, but it's a short hike. When we arrived to the park, we basically got through the gates, past the box office, which is basically at the bottom of the hill, and parked just past it.
The box office is as far away from the venue as possible.
Yes. Yeah, it's basically at the front gates.
Oh, good.
So
Wow.
we get out, start walking up the hill. I see a sign for a free shuttle to the top. And that's when I realized how far down we actually are. If we were to walk this, it would have taken forever. So we get in the shuttle, take it to the top. And my girlfriend says, do you remember where we parked? And I just went with all the confidence in the world. It's like, oh yeah, totally. In my head, when she asked me that question, my stomach fell into my ball sack. And I just went, holy shit, I have no idea where my car is. And for the next, I don't know, half hour, cool cucumber on the outside, but having a total insane panic attack on the inside because no idea.
Someone like you.
Yeah.
Someone like you to be.
I have made
so cool.
Made little, open up Google Maps and been like, this is where I'm parked, GPS style, right here. So later,
Yeah.
especially in a place I don't know, I can easily get back to my car. Didn't do it. Freaking out. Sit down, having a good time listening to music. Run into one of my old coworkers from my last employment place. Having a conversation with her, she mentions that she's parked so far away and she's on this named street. And then that's when it clicked in my head. I was like, wait, I think that's the road I'm parked on. We're right next to the box office. So immediately I punch in on my phone where the box office is and how to walk there. And I knew once I got to the box office, I'd visually be able to figure out what road it was from there. But man, that's a stomach dropping moment. I don't know if you have ever had one of those moments before where you thought you lost your car.
Sure, yeah, plenty of times, especially at parking lots that don't give you like visual cues of where your thing is, like a number. Like most places, they give you a number and a letter.
Oh, you're parked in the Goofy 20. You're parked in Ariel 17.
Yeah, Disney's very good at it. So is Universal. They give you like a character, a number, and a letter, so you know exactly where you are. 6th floor, W row, whatever. So very nice. But there's like these fairgrounds in LA for our infamous California, LA County fairs, where it's just this gigantic, vast parking lot with really not a lot of references. Like if you forget to, there is like a little number and letter like above you, like way above you. If you remember to look at it, it's nothing fancy. It's not like Simba 17 or whatever. Like it's not obvious.
Simba, all of this
There's
is
like little number,
yours.
little letter.
Up to Goofy's section.
Up to Chippendale, the Chippendale
Yeah.
parking lot. All you see is So I've been where I've had to spend an hour finding my car because my car at the time did not have any type of alarm, any type of like little beep beep thing, nothing. Right? You just had to remember, and you just had to know where it was. So yes, that's a scary moment when you're like, everyone else is gone, everyone's gone home, you're the last one to leave because you all drove separately, and you're trying to find that car, and you just mindlessly walking up and down aisles, hoping to God that you can recognize something that's like, oh, there's my car, thank God.
There's
like that sense of relief, that sense of like, oh.
Yes.
So,
There's a spot that we go to. The parking lot is under a highway viaduct, and next to that, it's just a big dirt parking lot, no reference points other than the viaduct, I guess, itself. And the last recent, I think 2 years that she and I have gone to this venue, not lost the car, but just been like, what freaking row did we park on? Like, I have zero reference point at all. And luckily, the old Mazda hatch had a, alarm thing or a keyless beep thing, so you could try and find it that way.
Yeah.
But again, if you're too far away, kind of screwed. Not going to be able to find it unless you use your head as an antenna or put your girlfriend on your shoulders and use her head as an antenna.
Oh man, those days. Yeah. I've never done that. I've never had a girlfriend. No, that's not true. I had a girlfriend small enough to do it, but never did it. I've never done that whole thing. Like I see it at concerts, and I'm like, good for them to have your girlfriend on your shoulders while she jumps up and down, like emphatically.
Oh,
to
sure.
The beat of the music.
Oh, those dudes have something called stamina.
I don't. Oh, that's true. They work out. I know they all work out. I know they're all gym bros. I get it.
Yeah.
I am not a gym bro.
Neither am I.
Sadly.
Which, that video that I showed you earlier, had I been a gym bro, maybe it would have been a better outcome. But I'm not. So
maybe.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I didn't really have an ending for that.
You don't have okay.
But yeah, no.
Well, you normally don't.
No, that's true. But no, I need to take you to Red Rocks just so you can see how large this place is and how I thought I lost my car, and you would understand. Like, oh yeah. Like,
apparently, every concert is held at Red Rocks. So, like,
I mean, I can't help that. Colorado happens to have one of the greatest concert venues in the entire world.
I mean, I guess that's the case.
I mean, it's a bias. It's a bias point of view for sure. But I'm not the only. There's a lot of artists that come through and say it. But I think they say that to all the girls. I mean, people.
Wait, what city is Red Rocks in?
Technically, Morrison.
Yeah. Oh, not technically.
Denver.
I mean, okay, because I was going to say there's two cities which are the two top 10 best places to live in the United States are in Colorado. So,
yeah, if you have
take
money,
your poison. Oh, get Colorado Springs versus Boulder. Boulder's was super expensive, but Colorado Springs was like half of that. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. So,
no,
like,
it's just you have to live in Colorado
you
Springs.
Feel like
then.
you can kind of afford it. Well, yeah.
I'll have to take you there too.
That's true.
I'll have to take you there too. And then when we hit what's called as the gap, and you're like, where is anything? I just see flat ground. I'm like, this is why I don't live in the Springs. Because there's nothing in between the Springs and like Metro Denver.
So there was an era of my life where I did a lot of not online dating, but like I met my relationships online. I met them through chat or websites or whatever. And one girl who I visited lived in Boulder.
Mm.
And I remember that the houses were nice. Like they were nice.
Mm-hmm.
But they also were like built a million miles away from each other. Like there'd just be one house that sat, and then like, 300 yards to the right and the left were the next house. So you had like this just gigantic, like open tracts of land, no grass. It was just like, it wasn't desert either. It was just like stone. It was like rock. That's all you had was rock for days, which I guess Boulder, right? Because it's Boulder.
I mean, it is in the foothills. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I remember most of Boulder was just these vast open spaces and these small like these really nice houses in these small tracts of land, but spaced out as if like neighbors don't want to be near each other because of all the loud music or something.
I mean, you're right on point. You live in Boulder, you get one of those nice spots because you don't want to have any neighbors.
Yeah.
It's not like being in a
That's
suburb
true.
where
I can't say that about California, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you open up your bedroom window and everybody can see you naked. You get one of those houses.
Yeah,
you open up your window, you can have the lights on and the windows open, and nobody will see you unless they happen to be looking in that direction.
I'm amazed by the number of people who still just leave their blinds open and do stuff with the blinds open. It's like, wow, you feel you're invulnerable.
Oh, I'm
yeah, but you're showing.
I am the naked neighbor. 100%.
You're showing off though. You're just letting the ladies know what they're missing. That's all you're doing.
That's what it is.
Like, hey, ladies.
That's what it is. I like minding my own business, grocery shopping, and somebody just waltzes up to me and says, "Hey, I saw you got a new car." I'm like, excuse me, who the fuck are you?
Did somebody really say that to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
The neighborhood watch person that apparently doesn't have a job and just sits in their big bay window and surveys the neighborhood.
You could finally had your first stalker.
My first
sign of internet fame.
Stalker. No, we already went through my first stalker at my first dispensary job, if you recall.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, but that wasn't for your internet fame though.
No, that was I don't know what that was, because that dude was printing out my tweets and putting them in a manila folder, and I think going home and fingering through them and finding the ones he liked the most.
Well,
coming up with responses or something. I don't know.
Just go to is that still your pinned tweet? Is that still your
mm-hmm.
your high stalker? Is that still your pinned tweet?
Mm-hmm.
It's never going away.
Well, the immediate one of I'll talk about it. So, don't tweet at work, people. Don't use work equipment to tweet or Facebook, because if you log into it and you don't log out, and someone happens to be going to something that starts with a T, or they were going to their own Twitter from that computer that you logged into, it auto logs you into your own account. The normal person would see that and log you out. Maybe alert you, tell you, hey, you probably shouldn't do that. I worked for a motherfucker that went through, I don't even know how long at the time, like what year. It was 2015. I joined Twitter in 2009. He went through all those years and found any tweet that looked like I was talking about the place in which we worked or him directly, and screenshotted and printed these out and then threw a manila folder at me full of my tweets. And I'm like, yeah, I said all that. cry 2 tears in a bucket. Fuck it. So that used to be the pinned tweet was George Clinton from the movie House Party busting a record over a character's head, and he steps back and he says, yeah, I did it. Might cry 2 tears in a bucket. Fuck it. Take it to the stage. So that was... I had that up there for a little while, too, because I was like, hell yeah, I said all that shit. I own it. Whatever. But I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It is funny.
Yeah. Never use... Yeah. I mean, that's... Yeah, I get it. I get, like, hey, you only have so many computers in the in where you work that you want to kind of use it to do your own thing. But, yeah. No.
Yeah.
I mean, there's... people do it. I mean,
people do it. People do it all the time. But, yeah, I learned my fucking lesson. I learned my lesson. Don't do that at work. But, you know.
No. If you can avoid it, just, like... Stop. Don't bother. It's you're just gonna get yourself in trouble. You're just gonna cause unnecessary drama.
Mm-hmm.
Work computer for work time, I guess. I mean, it's on your phone. I'm really surprised it was on your phone. I'm really surprised you just didn't use your phone.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm on my phone.
I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I don't know. Not really sure. But yeah, I mean everything I said, especially if it dealt with him. So
yeah, well, that guy, we had our.
You met the guy. You met the guy. Had no preconceived notions about the guy, and you were like, "What's up with that dude?"
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah.
I wasn't the only one.
It was a time where a lot of our what I don't remember what show we were even doing at that time, but our pre-podcast conversation was about this guy anyway, and your qualms about the guy. So understood as he was just that kind of dude. So I get it.
And I may have more recently worked for this guy's like long lost relative or something, because I go to the place in which I was employed before fairly often.
Yeah.
And I see the main boss of this establishment quite often.
Mm-hmm.
Not once has he even acknowledged the fact that I exist since then.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty childish.
Mm.
Walking opposite directions of each other, walking toward each other in opposite directions. Within earshot, I'm friendly. And I just get ignored. Or someone does a 180 or does a hard 90 and goes a different direction. Or comes up from behind.
How are you with other people of his position?
Of the upper people that run this facility, one of the upper people love seeing me, love hearing stories from me. Can't wait to see me back in the store. And I just let some of that out in a different position.
Told you this is the hardest kayfabing.
Whatever. I already told people what I do. I'm just trying not to say it again.
Yeah.
And everybody in the facility loves seeing me when I'm there. So eventually I'll be in there for my actual job and have to deal with him, or he'll have to deal with me. And
oh God,
it'll just be interesting. It'll be interesting.
It will be.
I don't get it myself. All day long, all I deal with is people that are just immature, and this guy just kind of falls into the same category. He's on the good side of things, but same maturity level as all these other people.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Laugh.
Yeah, that's all you really can do, right? Is just, laugh at the situation and kind of move on. It doesn't affect you in any way because you're
None.
getting paid and you're getting your job done. So,
And that's the whole thing.
yeah.
Like, in the position I'm in, like, it
Mhm.
doesn't, whether we're successful, partially successful, or not successful, no hair off my back at the end of the day. It's just like,
Mhm.
can't win them all, or we won most of
No.
them for the day, or whatever. It's fun. Wasn't like before where I was under constant stress and being completely behind all the time and
Yeah.
being pulled in 19 different directions and none of them were forward. At least in the position I'm doing now, every direction I get pulled or told to go is one that's in a forward momentum.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
I think so. A little bit.
Before we got too far off from everything though, just like the weird stuff and losing cars and stuff, I meant to bring up when we were in Philadelphia. I can't remember if you were there this particular year or not, but Jason and I went to go get banners made at some print shop.
Okay.
We park somebody's car that we borrowed, ran inside, got what we needed, ordered, I think, the banners, and then we came back the next day. But we ordered what we needed to, come back outside, jump into the car, go to start it, key doesn't fit. At the same time, I'm looking around at the interior of this car and go, where's my hoodie and all my belongings? What is all this stuff that's in this car? It wasn't here a second ago. Oh shit. This isn't the car we borrowed. Who just left this car unlocked in the parking lot? Jumped out of that car.
That's scary.
Like,
Yeah.
man, I thought it was Canadians that didn't lock their doors. Apparently, Philadelphians don't lock their car doors in parking lots.
I'm gonna, speaking of which, so I have this thing. I guess there's a service that my car does. That I'm sorry, I have to brag about this. Not brag about it, but like be like wow about it. But there's this service that you can buy, where you get an app that connects to your car. And I went somewhere the other day, and I forgot to lock my car door. Just completely, just did not cross my mind for whatever reason. And I get a little alert on my phone that says, "Hey, by the way, you never locked your car door." I'm like, "Oh my god, lock it from the app. Done. Never have to worry about it because it's done. Like I don't have to. I'm not worried or like. I was so far away from my car. I'm like, I'm gonna walk all the way back to lock my door, but it told me, and it was the most amazing. It's like the most amazing technology. And I have a year free trial. I'm gonna pay for this thing because it's like a lifesaver. If you have that for your car, get it. That's super. It's like technology nowadays is amazing. I'm so giddy over like stuff like that. Ginger did something and was startled. What was startled? I wonder what startled Ginger.
No, something we were talking about was startling to her.
Oh.
But who knows what it is.
Well, whatever you did and it was startling, we relate. We understand.
Yes. Yeah, I don't. Car tech is interesting to me because there's a fine balance. Getting in the wrong car. Well,
Wow.
at least I'm not the only one that does it.
It's true. How do you leave your car unlocked and then like?
And it was like the same kind of. It wasn't the same car, same similar color, same similar build.
Yeah.
Just jumped right in it. It's crazy.
Weird. That's that. I hope you locked it for them though. I hope you ended up like locking it.
I can't remember. I think we were too freaked out and just jumped out of it.
Okay.
But what I was going to say, technology in a car is really interesting because it's a fine balance between, you're driving in some cases up to a 2.5 ton, 3 ton weapon that has wheels and a radio. Like, I don't know. It's just a fine. Like, I think a car should just be that, just a car. I love all the technology in my car, but
no, give me all the tech.
See, that's the argument that I have as well, because there's some tech out there that's awesome when it works properly, like the car auto stopping in case you're not fast enough on the brakes. I think that's a great technology, but really, you should be paying more attention.
I mean, no, sure.
Yeah, you shouldn't be following so close that when the car in front of you steps on the brakes or stands on the brakes, that the car has to fucking react faster than you can react. That's an issue. But it's cool.
It is
cool.
Yeah.
The lane departure. Not a fan of lane departure. Maybe if I was, very elderly, blue hair and knuckles, can't really see over the steering wheel, maybe lane departure would be a good thing. And then for people that don't use their blinkers, lane departure must be the worst feature to have in a car, that, then you actually have to use your blinkers.
You do, in order to, exactly. In order to change lanes, you have to use your blinker, which is great. No, that's what I like about it. It's like,
right.
Yeah, I don't like using it, but I do like that it'll nudge you back into the middle if you don't use the blinker. They're like, you're obviously swerving too far to the right or the left.
Right.
Let's fix that for you. Versus when you turn that thing on, it's like, great. No, I love it. I'll sometimes open the back door to put something in the back, and then once again, my app will like bleep at me being like, did you check the back seat? And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to check my back seat. I forgot something was in it. It's kind of genius to me. Like, it's kind of like,
not 100% sure my Civic has the same level of tech that your brand spanking new vehicle
yeah, mine's
has.
2024. Like, mine's pretty new.
I mean,
like, mine has the latest of everything.
Right. I mean, I've got the lane departure. I've got the radar. What is it? Cruise control.
Yeah.
I got a lot of those features. But like auto driving, like a Tesla, to me, I don't know if we're quite there yet. I mean, it works, but like I said, you're in a vehicle. It's a weapon. You should be paying attention.
That's why they say, that's why you can't sue Tesla if the autopilot, crashes into somebody, because part of the warning that they tell you when you turn on autopilot is you have to still be in control. Yeah, the car is going to kind of drive itself for a while, but you need to be like hands on 10 and 2, ready to take control whenever. Like, you're not just like reading a book or watching TV. You're actively like engaged with the driving. So that's how they get away with it. If people ever get into an accident with the autopilot turned on.
I recently, last couple months or so, I was given the pleasure of driving an A4 for a weekend. And every time I put it into cruise control, I made sure to put it in cock mode, so it's right on the rear bumper of the car that you're,
I don't know why.
Well, that's how you drive an Audi. You have to be a cock. You have to match the level of the car that you're driving. And all the cocks of the world drive Audis, so you have to drive like a cock.
Yeah, I'm not. I have no love for an Audi, so.
It was nice. It was nice. Not a big Audi fan. Racing, yeah, sure. Street cars, whatever. I could be biased because
F1 Audi.
Yes, they're trying next year. I think it's next year or the year after.
Yeah.
I might be a little biased on the Audis just because my family had one that like literally flooded in a movie theater parking lot one year. There was like standing water in the footwells. Car never worked right after that. But it was nice to drive. Like the Tesla, the Tesla has all the radar around it, so it can do that auto drive. The Audi had something similar that when I put it into reverse and backed out of a parking lot, it showed on the infotainment screen kind of a top-down view of the car somehow. I don't know. I looked out the window to see if there was like a little genie or a little fairy like from Legend of Zelda or the dude from Mario Kart to see if they were above the car. Because I'm like, how's it showing me a picture of the car from up above? This is weird.
Yeah. Oh, I love those rooftop cameras. Makes it look like you can there's like a helicopter hovering over you with a camera.
I can't remember what the little fairy's name in Zelda was, but I was like, is it her? I didn't hear her say hey, but
Navi. Yeah.
That's it.
Is it Navi? I think it's Navi.
I think it is. Yeah. But it was cool. I mean, we've like I said, car technology is cool. I have a weird argument in my head about it, just because a lot of it is cool, some of it's unnecessary, but it's cool that it's there. Like, I don't know. I think you should always be driving if you're behind the wheel. You should be watching a fucking movie, messing around with your phone, checking out the radio.
Sure.
Like everything. All you gotta do is talk to your phone, and your phone does stuff, and phone's married to the car. Should be a pretty concentrated thing, yet people are in accidents every fucking 10 seconds, I think, in this nation.
Because we're a car nation. If we were like a train and a bus, like a public transportation nation, wouldn't matter.
Sure.
But we like our cars. If we were like Europe, which probably has, smaller population, but like fewer car accidents because everyone's taking the train, the subway, the tube. So, yeah. Even though I'll admit, it's not perfect, because I did see an accident when I was in Japan. I did see a car accident, even though they have very good subway system and everyone uses the subway. I did see one car accident, which was really surprising to me to actually see it in a foreign country.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, car accidents happen everywhere.
I guess
mildly surprising.
The last thing we talked about, I don't know how interesting I even think it is, but
we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it'll fill up some time. This past Sunday, yesterday, as we record, usually I'd say 2 days, but it's Monday. Yesterday is known as the greatest day in racing. The greatest day in
racing.
Greatest day in wrestling is different. Greatest day in racing, because you have the Monaco Grand Prix for Formula One taking place in the Principality of Monaco. And then later in that same day, you have the Indy 500. Okay. So as far as like spectacles in racing go, the Indy 500 is the Monaco Grand Prix of IndyCar. I hate statements like that.
Okay.
I don't, people, it doesn't matter. So there was the Formula One Monaco race. It's a high-speed parade. They go through the streets of Monaco. The track hasn't changed since 1953 or whenever they first decided that these streets were going to race on them. They're European streets. Their cars are almost wider than the streets are, so there's basically no passing. So it's just a high-speed parade, which is fun. Okay. But even I, a hardcore F1 fan, rarely watch to completion the Monaco GP, just because it's boring after a while when nobody passes. It's just cars going in a weird circle, if you will.
So why do it?
Tradition.
Yeah.
I guess. Why do they do the Pro Bowl?
Boring.
Why do they do the Pro Bowl? That means absolutely nothing.
No, that's true. because people usually are not tired of football yet by the time the Pro Bowl happens.
It's weird. Football's weird like that. Though football fans are totally cool with watching dudes basically play flag football instead of a real
If
game.
they could have it all year round, they would.
Oh yeah.
No, that's not true because XFL and AFL try to be a thing, and nobody.
Well,
watches and
they
nobody
are
cares.
they are just a unity now.
Oh, right.
I don't know if it's
The
AFL. It was
I don't know.
nice. XFL and somebody else just joined, so I think their spring season, which I thought was supposed to be happening this year. The Rock.
That was WWE. I thought they owned it.
No,
Okay.
The Rock owns it now.
Oh, The Rock owns it. Oh, good. Oh, wonderful. I can't wait for The Rock to improve whatever
Football.
XFL, AFL he had. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, it's college and professional. That's all anyone cares about. And that takes about half of the year. There's still another half that people want football. They're just not willing to accept XFL, AFL, whatever. They're not going to accept those, or Australian football or rugby. Like, they won't accept anything else except, college or regular football.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's boring. Like you said, I know you're not a fan of it, so it's just like...
No, I don't know. I honestly don't know how anybody can get involved in a sport that's only played for an average of 6 seconds every minute. Prove me wrong.
Hey, they're paid way more than any other sport,
Yeah.
I think they're the highest
To
grossing
rest.
sport.
They get paid more to rest than they do they pay to play. Or if you break it down, they get paid to play a lot of money per second or per 6 seconds.
But it is more dangerous than baseball and basketball, though. You're more likely to get hurt in football than you are those other sports.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because you're spending all your time resting and not playing.
Well, I guess. I'm not going to argue that, I guess.
Football is so fucking boring. I'm sorry. I don't care if I alienate like the entire 100% of this audience. I don't. I would much rather watch paint dry than watch a complete football game.
I understand, but I still think, yeah, it's still boring, but you're still going to get hurt. Whether it's boring or not, you're still going to get hurt on football. That's why you get paid more, I guess. But I don't know. Baseball's pretty boring. I don't know. I don't like sports.
Baseball.
I don't even know why I'm saying anything.
Baseball's pretty boring too. Look at a baseball stadium. All the fans, they're not really paying any attention unless they hear the crack of a bat, and then everybody's paying attention. The people that are on camera that are like
the bottom.
Yeah, they stand up to do the Harry Carey, 7th inning stretch thing, and the mascot, wrestling match in between innings or something, or the hot dog eating contest. Those are all things that people have fun and laugh. But then as soon as that's over, they just go back to chit-chatting with the person sitting next to them or arguing with the person behind them until they hear the crack of a bat. Then they're like, oh, shit. Now the game's interesting. Where's the ball?
Hey, man. That's why I like... No, but it's why I like movies that represent baseball, because they get all the boring stuff out of the way, and it's just when the ball hits the bat. That's all they care about, is when the ball hits the bat.
It's true.
Everything else is.
There was that one baseball game.
Conveniently erased.
The one baseball game was kind of boring though until he built it, and then then it was finally interesting.
Oh, nobody talks about Field of Dreams. Nobody cares about Field of Dreams. They're just saying that because they want to give, Kevin Costner has very few wins, and they're like, let's give Kevin Costner a win. And hey, James Earl Jones is in it. We're gonna give it a win because those guys are in it.
He did a couple of baseball movies, because he was in Angels in the Outfield too, wasn't he?
No, that was Christopher. Christopher Lloyd was in Angels. Well, maybe he was, but I know Christopher Lloyd was in Angels in the Outfield.
Okay, and then wasn't James Earl Jones also in The Sandlot? And was The Sandlot not having to do something with baseball as well?
I mean, yes, it's not really. It's not. It's less about baseball and more about about the coming of age story of young children as
Okay,
they
but
discover.
the
Blah, 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 blah.
MacGuffin is the fucking baseball, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's a
going
baseball
like
movie.
over the into the other like into that yard with the
Yeah,
dog.
yeah. So it's a baseball movie.
Yeah, yeah, sort of. Yeah, okay, I'll get it. Sure.
Look,
Fine.
if
But
Lethal Weapon is a
yeah, like
Christmas
Angels in the
movie,
Outfield.
then then The
That's true.
Sandlot's a baseball movie.
Yeah, I mean, Angel in the Outfield is a baseball movie for sure, and that one, but that's entertaining because you get to see like angels, like flying through the diamonds, picking up baseballs and like
Wasn't it
tossing
like?
them around.
Is it Fred Savage or his little brother or some other tiny little actor?
Now I don't know. Who knows?
It doesn't
Fred
matter.
Savage was in everything. He
That's
was
true.
in every movie. It doesn't really matter.
No,
I don't
but-
even. There's only one good Fred Savage movie, and it's The Wizard, so it doesn't matter. It's the only good movie he's in. No other movie exists.
Fucking
No, not
The
not
Wizard.
Princess Bride, not um not Stand by Me. Where's the one where he had to like run? Anyway, there's like several movies. I can't
Fred
remember. them all.
Savage in Stand By Me. That'd be fucking funny as hell.
No, he'd be a zygote in Stand by Me because that was pretty old. That was when Will Wheaton was
Yeah.
was acting. But anyway, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. I'm looking down my
go, Fred.
list. I got nothing else interesting. I don't know if any of this was actually interesting, but I don't have anything else interesting.
That's okay. Interesting or not, Again, it was a week. We're on an off day. We're not on our usual
Yeah.
day, which doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't really, but at the same I have less time to find interesting things. The interesting things that are happening in my life right now are all at work, and I'm trying really, really hard not to bring these things up. But unfortunately, that is
Well,
the
it's
most
funny 'cause-
interesting things going on.
Yeah, well, it's funny because that's not the point of the point of this. Well, there's no point. I take it back. There's no point for this podcast, really. It's just again, it's generic. We're just
Yeah,
talking about whatever pops into our mind.
which
There's
we're
nothing
good at.
specific.
We have a great time doing. It's just like the most interesting things that are going on right now all have to do with this new,
Yeah, I
not
don't
new
know.
position that I have, and just I can talk to you
I
about
mean,
it. You're a great source of me
Sure.
letting all this out. My girlfriend, my family,
Right.
all great, sources for me to get the things out. But sometimes you just want to get it out there. I would love to show them all the video I showed you, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, but also, I mean, I feel like there's only so much of like your real life that you should be sharing on this
That's
anyway.
true. That is
you
true.
know?
That is very true.
Like, you shouldn't be like, here's every aspect of my real life
Right.
on display for you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's fun because it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
But you can't. I mean, you can if you really want to, but I feel like you'd regret it afterwards because then everything in your life is a story. Everything that happens to you is a story,
Right.
and it's like, oh, well, I don't want to do anything in front of Josh. He's just going to turn it into a story for the podcast. Like,
Right.
I don't care because I'm already doing this with you, and I'm already sharing. Well, but like I'm more reacting than I guess sharing. But I react and share stories of other things. But yeah, like I wouldn't. I would protect more kayfabe. I think in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Well,
Just because hey, you never know. Yeah.
you never know. Yeah. So I think that's every. Oh, I got the hiccups again. I think that's everything for this week.
No.
Hiccups happen.
It is. Hiccups do happen.
But we'll be back next week to do this all again. What day will that be? It'll be a surprise to
knows?
you all. We'll know on the backside. But it will be a surprise to Francis when I tell him if it's any day but Tuesday. But The goal is Tuesday.
Well, as long as I know ahead of time, I can rearrange my schedule so I can be available for whenever you want to do the show, except for Wednesdays. I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know, and that's the thing. We'll keep things as close to the schedule as possible, but my job's kind of like Batman. When the bat signal is out, I gotta go to it. So sometimes that's not convenient for other things.
So that's what schedules are. Okay. The bat signal.
Well, when it's not a regular one, yeah, kinda. Francis, where can people find you on the internets if they want to do that?
Apparently, it's all sorts of places at AK. Just look at AK. The other guy. That's really like it's Instagram, it's Twitter, it's TikTok, it's everything. Everything is that name. So if you want to look for me, those all over the internet is at AK the other guy, because synergy.
Hey, if you want to have a harder time finding things, and I had an idea for synergy, but some of the hands that were in the cookie jar at the time weren't on the same page that I was on. That's okay. Makes it an adventure. But for the most part, if you look up the POI Podcast, you're going to find something related to this, hopefully.
Maybe, hopefully, yeah.
But we'll see. Well, actually, you'll tell us. Maybe, hopefully. Start talking, Josh. You can find us on apparently now officially X, but we will always call it Twitter at POI Podcast. The same thing for the internet, or the Instagram. We don't post a lot on there right now, but we're going to get back to it. You can call, text, voicemail, call into the show, 314-764-7631. It spells out POI Pod 1. There's some synergy there. Email thepoipodcast@gmail.com. And you can find me at 303_ninja on the Twitters, 303ninja on the Instagram. I think that's everything, Francis. I'm running out of time here. Yes. Come back next week. We'll be here. It'll be fun. It'll be
the scrolling thing.
It's all up there. But I like saying it. Makes me feel important.
Yeah.
Makes me kill time while the song's running out like it is right now. We'll be back next week. We'll see you guys. See ya.